Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of PlumbCast. As you can see, I'm Danny, and I'm hosting today. I don't have Jordan, so this is actually my first solo podcast. So I'm keen to get into it. Today's guest, we've got Louis from Drain Fixers.
G'day.
Welcome, Louis.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Louis is a predominantly drain reliner, which is now another reliner we've had on our podcast. We're going to dive into a lot of different topics today, especially based around work-life balance. We love our work fuck-ups. We love hearing stories and things like that. So, Louis, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I am a drain reliner. That's specifically what I do, which involves basically repairing a drain without excavating. So no dig repair. It's kind of like putting a stent in an artery.
That's exactly what I sell it as.
Yeah, that's the selling point. It's easier to visualize, but essentially we use epoxies or other resins, sometimes UV resins, and materials like fiberglass or polyester to essentially build a new drain inside the old drain. And yeah, I've been doing that for quite a few years now. And basically, I think Jay was on this podcast the other day, and what he said, which really resonated with me, is if you want to do something well, like just do that one thing. So we really locked into relining. Before that, I was right into digging holes, but there's only so many days in a row that you can dig a hole that's as deep as your head, and with a shovel as well. Because I was always so pedantic about making sure that we did the most minimal amount of damage to the client's property that I'd always just use a shovel. So I was there just laying out the tarp, throwing so much dirt, and then at the end of the day, I'd get the job done. But after a year of digging a hole every day that you can bury yourself in.
And I mean, look at myself. I've told you I've got major back issues that I've been forced to step off the tools. It kills me because I love the tools. And it's nothing more frustrating than watching someone do it and you're like, mate, give me a shovel. I'm like so controlling, but I can't do it because of a physical thing.
Yes.
And it's a short game, that world.
Yeah, exactly. Like technique gets you a long way. Like that's the only way that I could have achieved so many excavations back to back. You get these injuries and you nurse them along and you realize, oh, this is how I should have done it, or like keep your back straight and all this stuff.
We find our apprentices, we completely hybrid train. Like they're relining one day, digging the next day, hot water the next day, whatever.
Yes.
Really
try to do everything.
Focus on keeping an apprenticeship really involved.
Yes.
We noticed that they really push towards trying to go to a reline.
Oh, yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a great day. And especially as an apprentice, like, all right, we've got cure time now. They're like, oh, clean the truck, get some lunch. You know? While the dig boys are like, we're going dig hard, come back covered in mud. It's always a hard day.
That's right. And they've kind of got it good, because the thing with relining is it's fun, and it's all fun and games when it's going well.
Oh, yeah.
But like the real pressure's on whoever's running it, because if it goes wrong, it
goes really wrong.
It goes really wrong.
And so you got to buy the risk with your reline, and 99% of the time you're doing a reline, it's because it's in a really bad area to dig.
Yeah.
So you go for that option. Or another plumber calls you in, like I called you in.
Yeah, here we go.
Because I said, hey, Louis, I don't have the skill set to do UV cure junctions. I'm not confident.
That's all right, Danny. I'm all over this.
I'll engage you. You goes, Louis, not a problem. Might even dive into some stuff ups, because I'll run you through it. We had a tricky job. We had a junction. We needed to UV cure it. It was really hard to line up. So Louis used Jay's system, which is mint, don't get me wrong. Love it.
Love it, yeah.
For the first time ever, you've had a failure of install.
Yeah. It was so unfortunate, because it's the one job I've done for you. I mean, any reliner that says they've got a 100% success rate is full of crap.
Absolutely.
It's definitely, mistakes happen. But this was so unfortunate that I've got a 0% success rate for you.
Yes, yeah. You're 0 for 1 at the moment.
I promise it's above 90, I promise. But for you, unfortunately, that job, we had to install this junction, and it was through quite a lot of tight bends that we had to drag this packer through. And so I had to tape it up, a lot of tapes to hold it on. Essentially, when we're talking about relining, we've got like this sausage balloon that we inflate that holds the new drain on the wall. And inside that sausage balloon, when we're talking about UV relining, there's a UV light. And that in this case, we had a Y-shaped sausage balloon because we're relining a Y junction, like a 45-degree junction. And so it's extra fat, and you got to tape it up enough so that we can drag it around. We're dragging it around rusty cast iron, 90-degree bends, multiple bends. And we got it in position, got it. I was really happy with the way it lined up.
That was where the UV is so great. Like, to have no cure time.
Yeah.
We took ages to line that up. We dotted the I's, crossed the T's.
Yeah.
Had 3 cameras in the drain. There was 50 grand worth of cameras watching this thing.
Literally, yeah. We had everything there to make sure it went well. But one thing that you got to know about certain products, like with that silicon bladder that we're inflating, it can only be inflated to 10 psi or about 0.6 bar before you're starting to really push the limits of potentially popping it, which is exactly what happens to you guys, right? You popped your bladder.
We did.
It's very easy to pop those bladders.
We popped it dragging it in. We couldn't even get it in.
Yeah, because
we got it in and it wouldn't pump up. But we were using standard resin, so we had to get it out ASAP.
Yes,
because otherwise it was just going to stay there.
Exactly. Yeah. And so there's a different sort of thing with UV. You don't have that time pressure. It's brilliant. The bladder is kind of bulkier though, so but we had the time to get it in there, use the right lubricants. We got it in there.
I was impressed.
Yeah, I was surprised that we got it through a few of those 90s as well. And there is a process. So you got to really come up with a game plan, as to how you're going to get this thing in there and lined up. But the taping, what you do when you've got your sausage balloon, you then get your fiberglass. We use fiberglass because it's really strong. And we put our Y-shaped fiberglass, that's the stent that's going to be staying in the artery, basically. And we put that on top of this sausage balloon, and then we tape it up with masking tape. And that masking tape holds it small enough so that we can actually get it in position. And when you can only pump up a bladder to 0.6 bar or 10 psi, if these numbers mean anything to anyone, you have to minimize the amount of times you go around with your masking tape. And I even snip the tapes as well so that they definitely pop. But unfortunately, we just had one tape that just decided not to play ball today.
It was the inside tape. So we had 3 cameras.
Yeah.
And we inflated. We go, okay, my branch arm's inflated. Your branch arm's inflated. This branch arm's, let's turn the UV light on and get it cured.
Yeah. We're happy.
One of the tapes, which is inside the ends where you can't get CCTV, stuck.
Yeah.
So flick the switch, 15 minutes of curing. Awesome.
Yeah.
And we were so blown away. Me and Kyle were there.
Yeah, how easy is this?
This is the best system.
Yeah.
And then it was, all right, let's pull it out.
Yeah.
And I think it was a Friday, or it was getting late.
Yeah, it was definitely an Arvo. It was getting late. I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday Arvo. I think it might have been a Thursday. But we it's not the time anyway that you want to stuff up if you ever want a time to have the stuff up. But basically, because the tape hadn't popped and we'd turned on the UV light, we'd set this Y-shaped balloon, and we set the reline in a shape that was not cylindrical.
It was taped to the part that had to come out.
Yeah, so it's circle and really narrow where it's taped still, and then circle everywhere. Everything looked perfect except for this one thing.
I still can't fathom how it didn't pop.
Yeah.
Luckily, and I don't think I mentioned this when I introduced you, that Louis is the co-owner of Dre Fixes. So it wasn't one of those situations where it's I got to get everyone involved. What do I do?
Nah, give me the shovel.
I was on site. It was great because I said to the customer, hey mate, I couldn't reline it. Louis can't reline it. We have to dig it. It has to be done. And the customer was great. He's like, just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
It was 3 o'clock. We got the thing dug out and resolved it in 4 hours it really took to smash it out. It did impact landscape and whatever, but
nothing too dramatic, really.
We sorted it. The job got done. And that's
exactly.
That's relining.
Yeah, that's relining. It's all risk management essentially.
Absolutely.
And it's all about looking at the job and being, oh well, is this something that we can take on the risk here? If this goes wrong, how much is this going to cost? Because often you don't want to know the answer to that question. Often you just pretend. You're just
You look at one that's under a polished concrete slab with heated flooring under a kitchen.
Yeah, you're
and you're kind of
50 or 100 grand loss or $2,000 gain.
Yeah,
all right. I'll just close my eyes and say yes.
Yeah, but I'm going to buy the risk for a certain amount. Because it's got to have that risk factor.
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm trying to save something, and the customer's going to be like, well, I'm up for $100,000 if I've got to pull my island bench out.
Yeah, that's right.
Or I'm taking a risk at 10. I'm just going to go for the 10 because he might pull it off.
Yes, exactly.
And then if I don't, then I'm going to lose my 10 and
then,
I've just got to have a crack.
Yeah. So that's the thing with relining. It's all about that. But one thing I noticed when we had that stuff up, which I definitely think is worth mentioning, is I couldn't believe the team morale that your boys had, because basically we're in this situation where the relining, the no dig expert comes out and aka me, and stuffs it up, and then thankfully the job was near enough to your warehouse that you had like multiple guys out there with all the pipe work we needed, everything we needed to dig it up, fix it up and bury it again. And I had my apprentice there, and we try really hard to get the right sort of person, the right people working for us with good teamwork vibes, you know, make sure that everyone like looks after each other. So
crucial.
Yeah, and good morale. And
you got to back your mates. It's essentially like a footy, a plumbing company is like a footy team.
Yeah,
and it's like if one of your mates is not going to run and help you, then you're not on my team.
Yeah, so, that's right. It needs to be a team effort all the time. Sure. And it was so cool, especially because we put so much effort into trying to make sure our guys are having a good time at work and really working with each other and looking after each other. Like,
it's a hard job.
Yeah.
It's not always enjoyable.
Tough. Yeah. And to see another company like your guys' company have such good morale and everyone, you know, this is after hours at this point, and usually, you know, you'd see people a bit unhappy about the situation, but everyone had a smile on their face. Everyone was full on, like, putting in 120%. And
I think that also comes by us also being reliners, that the expectation of a reline going wrong is very common for us. So it was like, okay, we've had this.
Another one.
We've had this before. And, you know, we have a laugh at work that our dig out crew is run by one of our guys, Josh. We call him reline recovery. So you'll get a call and he goes, do you need recovery? I go, no, we're all good on this one.
We're on this one.
So touching on like team morale, because we've actually had just a big week about this ourselves at work, and we're trying to just do the little 1%ers that make people feel really good about, you know, where they work. Whether that be having some chocolates in the fridge at work, help yourself, you know, some drinks, and just small little 1%ers that people go, I like this place.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad to come to the place, work to this place.
That's right.
What's your take on that? Like,
we've got our frosty fruits in the freezer for summer, you know, all out. The boys are always cleaning them out the freezer. I can't believe how many frosty fruits we go through.
That's nice.
In summer. In winter, I mean, like Tim used to get hot chocolates. Tim's my business partner. He used to get hot chocolates for the boys every morning on those colder mornings. And they're all the 1%ers that you're talking about.
Factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're showing care factor.
Looking after the guys. And the amount of times that Tim has gotten up like at 4 a.m. to make everyone sandwiches. Like everyone,
really?
Yeah, he's made all the boys lunch like many times.
What
like,
a legend.
Yeah, so we
see, how can you, at 4 o'clock when a job goes south, how can you go, oh, I hate working here?
Yeah, exactly.
When the big boss man's coming down with sandwiches.
Yeah, or he's already given you sandwiches that morning and you're stuck on a job doing another one of those no dig drain repairs that ends up being a dig drain repair.
Recovery.
Yeah, recovery job, and you're smashing up someone's driveway, and everyone's a bit stressed, especially me, because I'm always the one on site with my hands on my head, like stressed out
And you're the guy who pulled the trigger. Like you ran the job. There's no one to blame.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
you.
And like it's tough when sort of you don't know, you know that you've got no one else to ask the question of what, like.
You're the last call.
I'm the guy. So
I know.
If I stuff it up, then, you know, the pressure's on.
Fix it.
And it's so good when, like, Tim comes out with a pizza, you know, we're still there and it's dark and we're digging and you know, he's looking after us.
Yeah,
so it's so important.
That's the things that, and as I said, there's hard days and it's not the most motivational job always.
No,
you know,
sometimes.
Like, there's jobs that really fire you up and you get excited to do them, whatever. Then there's jobs that are like this sucks. But this sucks, but the crew I'm doing it with is grouse. We've got the tunes on. We're going to run down the street and get a heap of Gatorades. It's hot as. We're going to try and turn this negative into a positive.
That's it,
I feel for the guys who, and I've got mates who, most of my mates are plumbers, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, even all the boys I went to school with, we just went plumbing.
It
was, you know, you hear about their stories. Like, I'm working with this 50-year-old grump, you know, he fucking screams at me and you know, he hates his apprenticeship because he's just getting yelled at. And it's like, I feel that I'm not saying that we're the youngest guys getting around, but that there's a lot of tradesmen now who are in their late 20s and 30s who are running crews. And these crews are so lucky to have someone who understands
what it's like to
their
be
point of
run
view.
by one of those grumpy pricks.
That's right. Like, when you're sort of fresh out of it and you go like, mate, I hated when, he taught me like this. I think you just learn from that and you go, I almost know how to sell this to my apprentice to be like, I need you to get on this house and get this burst pipe. Like a little bit of motivation comes along with like, fucking, do you need me to get under there? I'll fucking smash it out. Like, and then all of a sudden they're like, no, I'll do it. Like, and it's just, instead of like, I'm going to sit in the truck and gamble on my phone while I send my first year in the mud. Like,
You got
to,
like that.
that's so important, the team building and whatnot. And you get the best out of you guys.
Yeah, lead by example. I mean, if you're working your ass off, then they follow. They follow. Yeah, exactly.
That's really important.
Yeah.
So I was going to touch on relining. I'm still on relining.
But I
I've been on relining for like the last week. I haven't stopped talking about
I could talk about relining forever.
I know you're
I'm a relining nerd, man.
I know you're extremely passionate. And where I was going to go from that is that we had one of the guys on, Kane, from the Drain Man a couple of weeks ago, and as everyone knows in the relining industry, is like Drain Man's the pioneer. Like he sort of brought it in
Victoria,
started it.
Absolutely.
He's the Vic guy. He's the goat. He's whatever. You said you like know nothing about Drain Man. It's like, well, hang on. Everyone come from Drain Man.
I know of Drain. I mean, everyone knows who the Drain Man is.
I didn't mean I know nothing
about the inside of the Drain Man, but I think that what is so obvious in Victoria is because with drain relining, there's so many different methods. Like there's so many different ways you can skin the cat. Like when you're trying to get this material into the ground, and there's basically a fluffy side to this material and a rubbery side, and you can make different decisions on whether you have that rubbery side in or out, fluffy side in, fluffy side out. And the Drain Man's technique is to have the resin on the inside, which I don't have an issue with. A lot of people do, and I can understand where that thought comes from, and I can dive deep into that too.
I know. It's like the tack weld method.
Yeah, but so basically, it's obvious that most people in Victoria that are into relining have either learned from somebody who went to the Drain Man or came from the Drain Man, because they all do the same method where they're using epoxy and they've got the resin on the inside. And originally, once upon a time, I thought it was a terrible method, but I've started to realize now that, you go back to these jobs that have been in the ground for years and years and years, and they look mint. They look absolutely perfect. And one of the benefits is you can run your jetter through it and it still looks mint. Yes. Whereas with resin on the outside, you've got your PU coating, that rubber coating starts to get destroyed by the equipment that you use to clean the drain. And another one of the key things where, like, I remember Geordie was when Jay mentioned there was chat about this technique, and Geordie was like, "Oh, isn't that just tack welding?" And I'm like, one of the main things you realize if you've dug enough drains up is doesn't matter how you do a reline, it basically never actually adheres fully to the pipe. Like a lot of people believe it's a perfect seal, and I think the only way you do get a perfect adhesion to the pipe is when you sand PVC. That actually does adhere.
Scotch it up.
Yeah. That's rock solid.
We sand everything, even earthenware.
Yeah,
we just polish everything and get the drain.
Yeah,
prep is key.
Prep is key.
Yeah.
And the thing is, ultimately, what holds the reline in position is the fact that the drain isn't perfectly straight. It's got imperfections.
Yeah, the resin will ooze into a join.
Yes, exactly.
It's locked in.
It's locked in. It's going around a bend. It's locked in. Everything about it. So, I mean, this is just a nerdy thing in relining. It's one of the methods that it often gets picked apart, but I think there's no issue with it. I definitely do both methods. I think the thing, you just got to choose the right job.
Application
specific, exactly. Yeah. Different resins move differently as well. Like it's not, when you're working with resins, they're all different. Even when you're in the same, there's basically 3 categories of resin. You've got epoxy,
You really are a relining nerd.
Yeah. Like epoxy, silicate, or UV. And the way that they even move is so different. You got different viscosities where like some like silicate's super runny until you're using what we call the anxiety silicate, which is the one that sets like rapidly and it gives you so much anxiety when you
stress resin.
Yeah, stress resin. Yeah. That stuff gets thick quick, and the way that it moves matters as well for resin on the inside or resin on the outside. We're learning a bit about UV resin and how that moves, and it's definitely like important, I think, to have the resin on the inside for some of these UV installations because the UV resin can move to the bottom.
I think that's how Jay actually trains it too.
Yeah. Jay started, well, he's sort of one of those people that have always sort of done resin on the inside, or anyway, the people that he works with are. And so now that I've tried both methods and see the end results, I mean, the resin on the inside looks amazing. And if you know what you're doing, resin on the outside looks amazing too. But yeah, there's just so many different ways of doing things, so many things to consider when you're making those decisions.
So you've done like a lot of R&D into your skill.
Yeah, I get addicted to not wanting to know why.
Yes.
Like, you gotta know why you can't do this or why you can't do that.
Yeah, instead of just someone says you can't, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like
it's a smart trait to have.
Yeah, if you want to be the best at something, like if you want to really push, like I'm quite competitive by nature. I want to know how to do something better and better. Like not necessarily to be competitive with the next guy, but even just with myself.
Of course.
And so like you want to know why you do things so that you're not just doing it because someone told you.
Yeah.
And then you can improve and try to figure out new strategies, come up with crazy ideas that no one would ever think is safe because this is such a risk game.
It is.
I come up with these ideas that people
and not everything's been tried yet.
No.
Someone's got to try it.
Yeah, and I try stuff and people are like, what the hell?
We throw the phrase around a lot. You got to fuck around to find out.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Relining, you can really find out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
touching on your competitiveness now, I know plumbing wasn't always the end game.
No, yeah. I used to be a sailor.
So that's not something that like, you just get into. How do you even get into sailing? Like, everyone plays footy.
Yeah.
Or everyone hits a tennis ball.
It's pretty niche.
It is. So you grow up down the beach, down the lake. What's?
I grew up in Williamstown.
Okay.
So yeah, just the west side of the Westgate Bridge there, in Melbourne, and basically, Dad was right into it. He has a background of he actually grew up in Papua New Guinea doing a lot of fishing.
Wow.
But then he moved to Sydney for boarding school, and the game fishing scene wasn't so big over in Sydney, so he got into sailing, and it's just been doing lots of sailing his whole life. Did a lot of ocean racing, like Sydney to Hobart's and the Fastnet yacht races, which
so you sort of fell into it.
Yeah. So when I was younger, he was just doing the Wednesday night club racing, which is a lot of fun, just on the yachts, and I was so sure about it. I was like, this is what I want to do. And so when I started when I was about 6 or 7. And just because I'm naturally like competitive, I just wanted to be the best at that at the time. And so, just locked in really hard into sailing. That's all I cared about at that time. Nerded out on sailing and, pushed it as hard as I could. And I finished high school. I did the whole VCE and ATAR thing because that's what the family wanted. And I don't regret that. I find I'm in an interesting position where I've got like lots of friends that went to uni and friends that are in trades.
Yes.
And I'm like in this cool in between where I can like
bit of a hybrid.
Yeah, be a hybrid and be a bit essentially nerdy.
So you're a nerd tradesman.
Yeah, exactly. So I got to do all my did all the year 12 stuff, but the whole way through I'm just sailing like in the background.
Yeah.
And as soon as I finished my exams, I moved to New Zealand because there was an opportunity to get into.
So you were going all the way. You were really having a crack.
Yeah. Moved to Auckland, started sailing because I'm half Māori.
Oh,
yeah. I've
Māori
got
boy.
Yeah, Māori. I'm Aussie. Māori Aussie.
Maldies. Shout out to the Maldies.
Yeah, that's it. So
should have been a scaffolder.
Yeah. I'm in the wrong trade. But basically I'm half Kiwi, so I just moved over there and started sailing for the Kiwis because there was a really good program.
We should go to the No Dig Down Under in New Zealand.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. I'd be keen to. Yeah, I might see you there.
Who knows?
Yeah, so went over to Auckland, started sailing for the Kiwis, got in this new type of sailing that I hadn't done before, and basically got to the top of where I could get to there. I couldn't get into the top team because they'd already sort of decided on who was in that team. So I'd sort of run out of progression there. And then the guys in Sydney, the Aussies, were like, oh, you can come into our top team. And I was like, perfect, no worries. Jumped over there and started sailing. I moved to Sydney, started sailing there for a year. And we actually ended up competing in the Youth World Championships in this sort of sailing. It's still youth level, But we did the Youth Worlds, and it was back in New Zealand, and we beat the Kiwis.
Oh,
It was awesome, yeah.
Payback.
Yeah, we got them. So, yeah, that was sort of just before COVID.
Yeah, okay.
And so that's where it all sort of crumbled down, because I was pushing really hard for this goal of being a pro yachty, being a pro sailor, and it sort of became a job. Like, it was something that I did for fun, and it wasn't.
You ruin it.
Yeah, I ruined it a bit, and like I was pushing myself to
Everything's
do.
a job. No matter how good it is, you look at these superstars.
Yeah, 100%.
They're racing motocross or they're pro surfers.
Yeah.
Do you think like Mick Fanning really wants to go for a surf on a Sunday after he's just done the Rip Curl Pro? Like,
yeah, exactly.
He's like, I want to go play golf, or
Yeah,
I just want to do something else as a bit of an outlet.
Because you just do the same thing so much that you just like, especially because like I love all these other things. There's so many hobbies that I have now that when I was hardcore into sailing, I was just like, oh, I'd love to learn how to kiteboard. I'd love to learn how to get better at surfing or get on a dirt bike or a four-wheel drive or any of these toys, skating, snowboarding, skiing. I love it all. Mm-hmm. But I just got to like just a little taster throughout my sailing, but I couldn't actually get good at anything because all I was doing was sailing.
Yeah,
so
too many hobbies at once.
Yeah.
And you don't have time. You look at like you have a whole, out of a month, you go like, got one free weekend.
Yeah.
So I'll go and do this.
Yeah.
And then that is a quite highly skilled thing that you really need to do every single day to get good at.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you end up just being Joe Blow at everything.
Yeah, that's it. So basically got a bit sick of trying to turn my passion into a job, and COVID was the perfect sort of scapegoat to basically leave that behind, because COVID shut down all the international competition anyway. So I was basically just going to park up in Sydney for a year or two, or unknown duration at the time, just to find out whether or not I was going to make it as a pro yachty, or I could just come back. I just came straight back to Melbourne and helped the main guy that helped me get there in the first place, which was Tim. And so he just unblocked drains every day.
Yep.
And he had a huge part of all of the sponsorship that I had when I was getting into sailing. He was a huge part of that, not necessarily his own money, although he sort of did that in a different way. He didn't ever like specifically give me money, but he sort of definitely helped pay for things here and there.
Yeah, nice.
And but he mainly got sponsorship from other people lined up for me.
I reckon like most people who come on this PlumbCast, we say it's always like, how'd your journey start? And everyone goes, the words that come out of their mouth are, I sort of fell into it.
Yeah.
And it's like literally your story you're about to say, I was doing this, and then I fell into it.
Now I'm unblocking
and here
drains.
we are.
Yeah. So I also knew a fair bit about drains already by then, because before I moved, initially Tim first helped me when I was saving up money to go to the World Championships when I was 15. Mm-hmm. There was a World Championships in the UK at the time.
So you guys have known each other a while.
Yeah. And so he had me helping him do like renovations at his house and also unblock drains back then.
Awesome.
So I'd sort of been mucking around in that world a fair bit.
Had a dabble.
Yeah, had a dabble. So I knew what I was doing when I came back into the drains. I loved it. I didn't mind getting my hands dirty, and so just started unblocking drains every day with Tim. Yeah.
Here we are.
And here we are.
So you were mentioning you're heavily invested in your outdoor activities and whatnot. This all comes with work-life balance.
Yes.
And it's something that
I'm huge on that.
I'm extremely passionate about.
Yeah. I've seen you like forward driving stuff.
This is me to a T. Like I just love being efficient, being really good at your job.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you go to work to get money. You get money to go do things that you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's really important for me and my culture with our guys at work is to like get home at a good time. Yeah. Because whether it be your passion is video games, which is not mine, or it's going to the gym or whatever, everyone should be able to get that balance to be like, I've got to get to the gym this arvo, it's my thing. Or I've got to kick a footy this arvo, it's my thing. And it's going to make you feel like Monday to Friday wasn't a waste and you're not just waiting for the weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
What's your take on that?
Oh, 100%. I think the boys cannot believe when they're sitting in the truck with me and asking me about my weekend or even just what's going on this afternoon, we talk about it and it's just like, oh, so what do you got on this arvo? I'm like, there's always something on. Like Yeah, my issue is like I need to take a break sometimes because I just
having too much fun.
Yeah, I love it. We're just every afternoon. At the moment, I'm doing all my night school stuff, and that's really draining.
Sure
So
is.
trying to do night school Monday and Wednesday afternoon, and then Tuesday and Thursday. Especially at the moment, work is full on. It's just full on because I want to go to Europe. So that's a work-life balance thing as well. So now it's just like, okay, just do all the hardest jobs now before you go.
Do you find that these things you want to do are nothing but progressive to work because it's motivation?
Yeah,
and it's,
exactly.
I want to get more work done. I want to get these problems off my list. I want to get it done because there is a prize. There is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Exactly.
I find that when I've got nothing coming up, I'm a bit lost. I've either got to have a project I'm working on that I'm fixated on, and I'm always thinking about tonight. If I'm building something in the shed tonight, I'm going to do 20 minutes. I really want to weld this, then I'll be happy. Think about it all week.
That's it.
And if I don't, you turn into a robot.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you don't have that as a high functioning male or female or whatever you want to say, you lack your motivation and passion throughout the day.
Yeah.
You've got to work for something.
That's it. Got to work for it. I love, just getting out there. Every arvo got something on.
Awesome.
Starting to brew beer with my mate. Oh, we've been doing that for a few years now. So
it's just another thing.
Yeah, it's just the amount of stuff that I try to jam into my week. Like even the other day, got onto Facebook Marketplace, got like $150 worth of climbing gear, like harness, 60 meters of rope, and a few slings.
Training.
Nah, no training. Put it over. Go to the Grampians, which is like renowned for this beautiful cliffs to climb on, and just
deadly
threw the rope, and just hooked it all up, and away we went.
So you fucked around to find out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's go abseiling down a cliff and then try to climb up again, and it was just so much fun. And that's just one of the fun, crazy things that we like to get into.
Yep.
I'm sort of trying to teach my mate how to kiteboard as well. So, getting the kites up whenever we can, or got the ski boat. Last weekend. It's freezing in at the moment in the water, and it's just like, who cares? Put on a thicker wetty and get in there. And so we just went up to the Murray, even though like it's not something that anyone's doing at the moment, but that's perfect because no one's there.
I've seen you up Bundalong.
Yeah. And it was just get out the back of the ski boat and muck around and find out. Like I've actually managed to do barefoot skiing behind the boat. I've never done that before.
Yeah, grouse though.
I hit my head. I don't know this side.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I probably got on. Thought it was a clever idea to sit on the wakeboard and got up on my bum and then cruised outside the wake and about to put the feet down. And I was actually doing it.
Yeah.
But I was sitting between the boot bindings on this thing, and it was stuck in my crotch. I stood up a bit taller to get it out. And then my feet went under. I just went head over tits, and just the board smacked me in the head. It's all part of the fun though. Like
you've got to
get active.
You've got to commit to doing these things though, and it takes effort. Like you've got to be motivated to, say to yourself, all right, I'm knackered. Like I've had a massive week. I've been digging, I'm plumbing, I'm electrical, I'm whatever. And then you can go, all right, I'm going to get absolutely written off on a Friday night and ruin my Saturday. Or this weekend I'm going rock climbing. I'm setting my alarm for the same time I get up for work, so I'm not having a sleep in. And I'm going to go have fun.
That's it.
As it said, it takes effort, but you're killing it.
And if you brew your own beer, you can write yourself off and not get a hangover, and so you can
there
keep
you go.
pushing.
So
you can do it all.
So you totally figured out the cycle. Yeah, that's great.
Got the cycle going. So
that's great. That's it's to me the really, really important is the work-life balance. It's not just for yourself. Like I'm a family man now. I've got a daughter and whatever. And that really opens up avenues of like when you come home and others are depending on you to have balance. So I can't go home and couch.
Like, no.
Like I'll be like, all right, I'm going to get home and like they're looking forward to seeing me. I've got to turn it on. And it's not a bad thing because I want to, but it's a push, and it's awesome to have that push to be like, hey, I'm home. We got 45 minutes daylight left. Like let's go on that bike. Let's just putt around the front or whatever. And it's just like you're forced to do it, and it's so great.
Yeah.
So
that
great.
is awesome. Yeah.
You don't have a partner?
Not yet.
I couldn't tell by
Yeah,
how many hobbies you're doing.
Yeah, I've got that many hobbies.
don't have time.
I don't have time, but I was obviously trying to find a partner. I think having a family is a huge part of my focus, and actually probably the hobbies is a little bit to not get too hyper focused on something that you shouldn't get hyper focused on, and you should never like. I've learned the hard way, I think, on like trying to hyper focus on getting a partner. Because it's like, oh, I need it. I've got the financial position to have the family. Now I just need the family. Where do I get one of those from?
Yeah, where do I buy it?
Where do I buy that?
And it's one of those things that doesn't just come overnight.
No, exactly. So trying not to hyper focus on that, I was just like, okay, let's just have fun and just meet people
100%.
while I'm playing around with a million other toys so that I don't focus too much on it. But yeah, absolutely the plan is to have family, have kids like yourself, and just get into that phase of life.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you don't know how much you want it until it happens, and then all of a sudden you're like, your hobbies just become less important, no matter how much you have them. And I made it like clear to my wife that when this was going to happen, that I'm keeping
the 4-wheel driving,
if I've got an annual boys trip or whatever, that stays.
Happening. Yeah.
And it's purely because why should you change? Like adapt, but don't change. Like stick to your guns. You know, if you do whatever you do, just keep being you and work around it and work that life around your new life. And I think I've done a great job of it.
Integrating it all together.
Yeah. And I just forced my daughter to come along to everything
exactly.
I do anyway. So
and she's gonna like love that.
Yeah, of course.
As a result,
of course. The way I look at it already is like I feel that I wish I was her. Like,
exactly.
She's got no idea she's 2 years old, but I wish she would, know.
And she's gonna grow up with a skill set that a lot of younger girls or even when if you have a guy as well, like they're gonna have skills that no one else has because you've dragged them out there,
of course,
on the track or whatever it is whatever toy it is you're playing with, that's a cool skill to have in life.
Yep.
And so I think that's awesome. Like,
absolutely.
I definitely would love to like be on a surfboard with a little a little Louis or like or like doing some sort of crazy stuff like getting right into the hydrofoils at the moment where you like fly above the water.
Yeah, they look tricky.
Yeah, they're tricky but it'd be fun to just try to teach a kid how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's
a little baby hydrofoiler.
We can't do any of that without going to work and throwing relines in the ground.
Yeah. And that's what makes it possible.
That's the end goal. So I was going to ask, how many guys you're running? Give us a bit of a story on drain fixes.
Yeah, so I sort of basically when I got into drain fixes, it was just me and Tim. Started unblocking drains. That's what we're doing every day. And I realized that we were working insane hours. Like we just didn't stop. It would
still do.
Yeah. I mean, no. I've made a line in the sand. We get our weekends and we don't have to work back late unless something's gone wrong. Yeah. Obviously, then you have to work back late. But basically, back then we'd work every hour of the day, any day of the year, and it was crazy. Especially Tim. He like pushed that program way harder than I ever had to. He was always out there in the middle of the night on Christmas Day. He used to run the Yarra Valley.
Well, he's the owner. He's the one. Who does he call? You saying
exactly,
before when it's your problem. Who's he call?
Yeah.
When they ring Tim can't send a boy. He just goes, I'm coming.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, he got used to it because he used to run the Yarra Valley contract with like unblocking the drains for when someone calls in, they have HCV. Yeah. So and he didn't have a night like for years. For I think it was like over 6 years, maybe 7 years, where he didn't have a night. And I'm talking 365 days a year. He didn't have a night where he wasn't out after midnight.
Yeah, he was on call forever.
Yeah, but he actually got called out after midnight every friggin' day. Forever. And he would work all day and then do that all night.
I'm really keen to actually come down to your shop and meet Tim.
Yeah.
I speak to him a lot on the phone.
Yeah.
I've been on some lengthy conversations with him. Like, you
get
trapped on the phone with Tim. Like,
no, he loves the app. He's keen for a chat. But he's inspirational how hard he works.
Yeah, for sure.
And he still works. He works like ridiculous hours still, even though I tried my best to get him to not work as hard. He works ridiculously hard. But that's all we did. We unblocked drains and it was just so tiring and so exhausting and we're not making that much money. I mean, I enjoyed the problem-solving aspect. Like, we got really good at being so quick at
of course.
We could pretty much know exactly what to do before we got to the job based off what the client tells you. And usually the client doesn't know what the heck they're talking about. So it's hard you read between the lines, but we got pretty good at it. But I realized that the money wasn't in unblocking the drains, it's in the repairs. So we'd get these jobs, we'd put the camera in after we'd unblocked it and be like, okay, this tree root's getting in the drain here, it needs to be excavated or relined. But back then it was mainly excavation. And then I'd get a contractor, we'd get a subcontractor to go and do the excavation. We'd basically get a quote from them, give it to the customer, and I'm just looking at these numbers and I'm like, what the heck are we doing?
What great money there.
Why are we not? Like, these guys are making way more money than we are. Like, I can dig a hole. I've been doing this. I've been just come off an athletic background. And I went out with the subcontractor, learned how it all worked, and just dug holes every single day for, over a year pretty much. I was digging holes that up to here or deeper, and I realized that it wasn't sustainable. I loved it because I love just, physical work. I actually really enjoy it. I look forward to an excavation. But basically I knew it wasn't sustainable. I had sore body and all that. And then I realized that this relining thing, some of the jobs we're doing, I couldn't dig them up anyway. They're underneath a fancy driveway or something like that. So we'd get a relining subcontractor to go out, and then I was
then you get his invoice. You're like, what the fuck?
And he's charging the same amount, and he's doing it in a few hours that I'd be doing all day with the shovel. Yep. And I'm like, okay, now I need to go with that guy. And so I went out with him, learn about how that world works, and I was like, okay, perfect, buy all the gear, got right into relining, and just like I did with sailing, just nerded out on it, really locked in. Because not everyone, but most of the reliners in Victoria learnt the drainman way. That's sort of the way they know, and they lock into that. But I had no way. So I was just like, wanted to know all the ways.
Reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, I wanted to know all the ways, and I was heaps of online research, and the guys up in Sydney are just so into the inversion relining. It's all they do, which is a whole different process where you shoot the reline down the drain using air pressure, and the actual reline material is the bladder. Basically, it's a whole different process, and you might have seen it on social media before. It looks really cool, really satisfying. Watch it go into the ground. But I was like, I need to learn how to do that sort of relining. So I went up to Sydney. I basically found a guy that was really good at it, Daryl from Revolution Pipe Relining. I just watched his YouTube, and I was like, this guy's doing some really cool stuff.
You just call him?
Yeah.
Said, hey, Daryl, I'm Louis.
Basically, we saw him at the No Dig as well.
So this is basically networking. We met. At No Dig.
At No Dig,
all of a sudden, we're doing jobs for each other and doing podcasts.
Exactly. And so we had a chat and was like, can I just work for you for free for a week so I can learn how all this stuff works? And he's like, yeah, one of my boys are going on holiday, so come and give us a hand. And it was so awesome. Learn all about inversion relining. There's so many calculations that you need to know.
I know. We've just done our training, and it's just
all the shrink rates are different for different liners. Yes. All of the way it shrinks around bends and how you calculate everything, and different pressures you invert at. It's so complex, and you can cure with hot water, or you can cure with UV, or you can cure just ambiently. You can cure with steam. There's so many different ways to. There's even infrared curing,
I've seen that,
which is a whole nother thing. But I haven't dabbled in infrared. But basically, I learned that way of doing things, the inversion method, and I came back to Melbourne feeling pretty good about it because I knew how to do it the drainman way, and I knew how to do it the Sydney way. I sort of knew how to do it the way that
grab everyone's ideas.
Yeah, resin inside, resin outside. Yeah, stuff it up this way, try that, and stuff it up that way. For sure. Everyone makes mistakes along the way, and that's how you get better at it. But and just slowly just push the risk higher and higher. I'm very risk appreciative, so it was like, okay, I can do that. I can do it. I did this won't mean a lot to a lot of people, but the first ever inversion reline I did it with. I just made got some 150 mil PVC, created a cannon with a few reducers on the front, and did a 20-meter shot around a bend and everything. I was like, oh yeah, that'll work. I'll just screw a nipple in there and just blow it up and see what happens, and then bang, got done a 20-meter inversion.
And it worked?
It worked. Oh,
you must be relieved.
Yeah. Oh man, I was absolutely pooping my pants that day. That was just so scary, but. Yeah, it just goes to show, like, when you think a bit outside the box and you try a few different things, you learn what's possible, what's not possible, what is the limitation of this technique, and that sort of stuff.
And you can't learn that. Like, you can't be taught that. I mean, that just comes by on-site experience. And
yeah, I mean, you don't get taught any of that at trade school.
No.
Like, I'm a registered plumber now, and back, like, the whole way through trade school, not a single thing about relining.
No, I don't mention it, but yet you need to have a plumbing license to sign off on it.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So
it's a specialist area.
Yeah,
so,
it's super.
And your guys are lucky. Your apprentices and whatnot are lucky in that aspect that they're training. They might not be dialing in on a wide variety, but
they get to be specialists.
In that area. And they're sought after.
Yes.
There's guys like us who we're reliners, and we'd be open to a resume that says, I've done relining. It's like, call me. Who are you? Like, who do you know? Because it's only so small.
Yeah, it's a small world.
It's a small world.
Which is cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Find a niche in business helps a lot.
For sure.
Locking into a niche or a niche within a niche, drainage is the niche, and then relining's the niche within the niche.
And then junctions are the niche of that niche.
Yeah,
and it really
junctions
is.
Inside
it really
that.
Is.
Yeah.
I was on ChatGPT last night, and I was actually just talking about relining. I talked to ChatGPT just it's a mate.
Yeah.
And I was just sussing out what it thinks like going rates are and how experienced you have to be. And it was actually mentioning, and it sources its data from people's websites and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was saying inversion relining's common, and then it said it's like only and it knows how I talk, so it talks to me like that, and it's like only the goats know how to do junctions, and I'm like, it's true though.
Yeah, we've got it extra tough in Australia because our drains are just so crap compared to everywhere else in the world. Like, the drains has got really tight radius bends. They're just laid out poorly. Essentially, they're as hard as they can be to reline. And the access is often limited.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got plenty of suburbs around Melbourne that don't even have downstream access, a point to surface. Mm-hmm. That's pretty common in Melbourne.
That's
and
the
then
majority of our digs is, hey, there's actually nothing wrong with your drain.
Yeah.
We should put in a point of
to surface so that we can actually fix it in future if there ever is, and just general maintenance, clean the thing. But the other issue, the other thing that makes it more difficult in Melbourne, and I sort of get jealous of the Sydney guys, is everything up there is 6-inch or 150 mil, and we've got all of our stuff's 4-inch or 100 mil.
That's what Jay was saying on the podcast. Jay from Quickline referred to it. He goes, if you can reline 100, you're a gun.
Exactly, because this week has just been 150 relining for me, which is unusual. I barely do 150.
Yeah.
And I've done 50 meters of it in the last week or two.
You're finding it easier?
And it's just it's like throwing a sausage down a hallway.
Yeah.
It's so easy to drag that thing in.
Yeah.
You don't even need to do a good job taping it. It won't fall off.
Yeah,
There's so much space. It's unbelievable. But with the 4-inch stuff, the 100 mil, it can be so challenging with the bends, especially PVC bends or DT fittings. I could go on forever, but it's challenging.
So you're the man on the ground for the relining. Have you got a 2IC of relining who's your go-to man?
Yeah, so I've got 2 go-to guys, Charlie and Ben.
Yeah, and they're gun reliners?
They're gun reliners,
nice.
Yeah.
So did they train under you?
Yes,
awesome.
Yeah. Everyone in the business is trained under me.
Has come under the race. Yeah. So no one's come in later?
Nah, I didn't really want anyone with their own experience. I kind of wanted to have blank slates because it's just easier to make sure that the only way they know is your way anyway.
You don't have to try and get rid of bad habits.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want to have to deal with that. It's hard enough to teach them from scratch, let alone trying to get rid of other habits. So everyone has come from the ground up and from very young. Like Charlie, I'm bumped into Charlie on an excavation that I had to do under his house, under his parents' house. And he was 15. It was COVID. He didn't want to be at school. And he asked his parents if he could help me out with the dig. And they're like, yeah, no worries. And so I was like, oh, are you sure? We're going to be under the house. Where we had to do a dig. It was over 1 meter deep. And it was on our knees the whole time. We couldn't stand up under the house. Yeah. And you've got, joists and bearers and everything in your way. You're trying to use a shovel and throw it, and it was so wet under there. It was sliding. It was on a hill as well. We're sliding down on the knees, or putting your boots in to try to stay in. And he was up for it. He got in there and got dirty, and in the end, it was his little brother Jack had flushed a Tonka truck down the drain.
Oh, you kidding?
Yeah, and so we dug it up, and as you know, like a block drain, when you open it up, there's just crap
Shit everywhere.
Yeah, like it's just flooding with sewer underneath the house, but like it couldn't have been a dirtier job.
And Charlie loved it.
Charlie loved it. I was like, okay, yeah, you can keep coming back. And so
has he finished his time? Is he still with Preds?
Yeah, he's a registered plumber now. So yeah, he's done his time with me, and so is Ben. He's nearly finished his time, but both really good blokes. And they and so what I said to Charlie when we needed more guys is like, if you've got mates that would be good,
yeah, this is all we do.
Yeah, then just get them, because you're going to spend more time with them than I will anyway. So you may as well get along with them, and I'm just going to train them up and make sure they're good. And if they're no good, they're going to get the boot. Yep. But choose wisely. But yeah, basically that's how it went. We got his mate Ben came on, and then it was Bentley, and which you've met on that job.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, good bloke. And then Charlie's younger brother Noah got involved, and then who's it's got Tom as well, and Spencer now. Well, how many? There's 8 of us, I think. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. And yeah, we're very similar on recruitment of I think we've only got 2 of us, 2 out of 17 who don't come from a mutual. And when I say that,
exactly.
it's like they've actually called up
through
or
Seek
thrown a
or
resume.
whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, they've come in. But the rest of them is always like, oh, I'm so-and-so's mate from here. And I heard, they're all just like in-house guys.
Yeah.
And it works.
It does work. And it's good, like when I go, like, I was at Bentley's 21st the other day.
Yeah, gross.
And it's so good when like you got all of his mates being like, oh, you can have a job. Like you guys are so nice and so good and look after everyone. Like my boss is shit. Like it's just
that's awesome though. Like that shows your culture is mate. If you want to invite your boss to your birthday, he's all right.
Yeah, true.
If you want to stay back on a Friday over and have a beer with the boys because they're actually all right, that just shows you got good culture.
Exactly.
You know, because there's plenty of mobs where people are racing out the door like, when can I leave you guys? Because I hate this so much.
Yeah, exactly.
So, hats off to you. It seems like you built a good crew, and they're doing good things.
It is good, and everyone's all they know is relining. Ben's pretty good at the digs too, but Charlie was the only one that was really with me when we were doing excavations.
Yeah.
So he really he's good on the shovel too. Yeah. Because he had no choice back then.
Send him my way, mate.
Yeah.
I'll take him.
But everyone else is just really good at relining, and it's so fun to try to improve everyone's skills and know what they can do and get them better at all that, whatever step they're up to.
Yeah.
And so now my top guys, Charlie and Ben, are trying to get into the inversion relining, which is,
that's the next
as
step.
you know, you've just done the training in Sydney.
Yep.
It's super complicated.
It is full on.
It's super complicated. And there's so many ways it can go wrong.
I know.
So many ways.
Touching on things going wrong. So we're coming to the end we've got about 5 minutes to go. So there's got to be one that sinks in mind of one that's gone real wrong.
Yeah. I honestly, I've got a pretty crappy memory. And
it's got to be one that sticks.
I try to forget these things.
Yeah.
I do. I'd rather, I just try to make the learnings from it and then forget about it.
Yeah.
But I know, when it comes to inversions, often the dramas I've had are, halfway through the inversion, and we're talking we're dealing with thousands and thousands of dollars of materials, let alone getting them stuck under the ground.
Aborting a mission's expensive.
If you abort the mission, you're still losing.
You're
throwing $3,000 in the bin. So it's that's a bad day. Yeah. And then option B is if I try a bit harder, then I might have a $30,000 loss instead. That's a really, really bad day.
I know, and you've got to call a shot.
Yeah, and you got to make some decisions on the spot, and it's so much pressure, and you're and you get good at feeling resin and being I've got this much time.
Yeah, you do.
You get good at being okay, I can try again. And using ice, I'm sure you learn about how much ice can help you.
Yeah, cooling down your resin.
It almost doubles your work time. Yeah. Sometimes I reckon it actually does double your work time.
For those listening who have no idea about relining, I know this has been very targeted towards relining.
Super.
When you're mixing resin and you're doing a standard cure, your 2 compounds of resin are a chemical reaction, right? And you've got
exothermic. So
here we go. Nerd will take it from here.
Part A and part B, and then just like, I'm trying to think of another example of an exothermic reaction, but basically when you mix the two chemicals together, they emit energy and they heat up.
Yep.
So, and it's that heating that helps cure them. And so if you can cool them down and not let them heat up, then you've got more time in your plate.
Some of them have 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you're using anxiety resin.
Yeah, the anxiety resin. Yeah.
The reason you cause anxiety is that the moment you put the two bonds together, you then have to mix them for 1 minute. So you're down to 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
You then have to get it on and impregnate the liner.
Yep,
You then have to send it in.
Yeah.
And that's why these
Line it up
calls can be
perfectly.
so stressful to be like, are we happy to pump that up?
Yeah, yeah.
Or do we need to abort mission?
Yeah, yeah.
And you're stressed thinking about it.
Yeah.
And often you just abort because you know. And I've learned this now, like after committing to too many, like fucking pump it up. And then you go, oh, I got to hope.
And then
it
you need to
works.
wait. Sometimes you need to wait hours to find you screwed it up.
Yeah, exactly
and you're like,
right.
oh,
You go,
I
you
should have
know
just
what?
aborted.
The $200 material should have went in the bin.
Yeah.
I should have done it again.
Yeah.
You got to swallow your pride a little bit.
Especially when you learn, like when we were starting off in it, like to throw away $800 of material because a job's gone wrong, like it hurts so much when you haven't got.
That's like your margin on your reline.
Oh, that's everything. Yeah. And it's just like simple things like sometimes you got too much lube and you haven't taped it well enough and it starts
Slips.
bunching on you.
Oh, mate.
Anything can happen. But yeah, there's so much into it. And basically, yeah, learning about how to manage your resins is huge. Not every resin's the same. Even if you stay in the same world of epoxy, they're all different.
Yep.
They react differently to temperature.
What would you say, lastly, what would you say to anyone that's looking to get into relining? Because to me, it's like a new apprenticeship, but you've got risk every single time. Like, to me, what I would say is begin with patching.
Yeah.
And I would say to go and I'd say go and talk to the guys up in Sydney, APS, and pay to be trained.
Yeah, for sure.
Invest into it because, as you said,
well, I never knew that you could do the course that you guys did.
Yeah.
And it's incredible that from what you've told me that what they've done for you.
It's the most thorough training you'll ever be put through.
Yeah, there you go.
They are so onto you about the right strategy that you can't fail. The only thing they don't teach you is when you do all your demos, they have drains set up in their factory, 100 mil PVC drains that are in perfect condition.
Yes,
and you get out into the real world, and things change.
Yeah,
and
they probably it's more with the bends and stuff. Things are always different in the real world.
Yeah,
but PVC when it's not when you do pull in place relining, I'm going down another rabbit hole here, but basically you can have airlock issues where your bladder expands on either side of a bend and it can't expand on the bend because there's an airlock there, and it's just because the PVC is in such perfect condition. And there's reliners that will do boundary traps where you got to go around the U-bend, and before they even start, they'll drop a crowbar down it to smash a hole in it to make it so that they don't get an airlock.
It hydrolocks itself.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just so much that goes into it. But it's incredible training they give you.
Incredible. And you will just fuck up. You got to accept that you're going to fuck up.
Yeah.
And that's relining, and you will get better at it. And when you do, it's great.
Yeah.
But the investment is just massive.
Yeah. I just thought of a fuck up that you might have this happen. Did a tab start inversion. So that means the remote start basically it glued a bit of bladder to the front of a reline, went down and shot it, and then it went around like 490s and then down in a place that there's no way we could dig. And then went to shoot the bladder through afterwards, and it wouldn't go around the first 90. So now I've got like a liner in the ground that
it's going to start.
That's setting,
and it's gone flat.
It's gone flat. It's a disaster, and I couldn't get it around. And I can tell you actually the reason that happened is because when I assume you've been marking where your insert point is. Yep. You cannot let that move if you're doing a tab start because there's no flexibility in Cali.
We learned this in the training the other day.
It's a disaster. Yeah. You'll shortcut it and lock yourself. But basically, what I had to do, I was like, how the heck am I going to fix this? I was like, we've done a dig up. It went around the corner and then down there. I'm like, this is all diggable. That is not diggable.
Yes.
I've actually dug here before, so it's soft.
You gotta pick your battles.
And so I was like, got the boys to just turn on the cold water. So shove the garden hose down it and just leave that running. Buy me time, and I will dig this 1 meter hole in 5 minutes. Watch me.
Yeah.
And so I dug it up and ripped out it, like got the hammer and smashed it, found my reline, like from the section that I couldn't dig, like chopped it and ripped it out, and then got the boys to bring the drum over and then shot the Kelly through that.
So
and
you
saved the bottom half of the reline.
Well done.
And then
that wouldn't have been stressful.
Yeah, and then the rest of it, I because it went around a 90 and it had set by then. I dug up the 90 and I used a chain to like try to twist it and get it out, but all that did was twist it up and it didn't get it out. So I dug up that 90, but the good thing about that is because it was twisted and it was like a rope. It wasn't stuck to the pipe anywhere, so I could just pull the rope out either side. And thankfully, I mean, that lady had 2 holes that afternoon that she wasn't expecting, but I mean, we got the job done. Could
have been worse.
Yeah, mistakes happen, and if you can find a way to like save some of it,
for sure,
go for it. Like just accept a loss on one little bit to get everything else sorted, then you're laughing.
Unreal. Louis, thank you for coming in.
No worries.
To the listeners, look, thanks for another podcast. As we always say, if there's anyone interested, come and show your face. It's
fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's not hard.
It's not hard. You just got to forget that there's microphones in front of you. Just come in and talk to like-minded plumbers, like-minded tradesmen, like-minded anyone in the industry. You know, we're not just sitting here talking to tradesmen. We're anyone in the industry, suppliers, tools, anything. We're really open for a chat. So, Louis, thanks for coming in.
No worries.
Done.
Thanks, Dan.